The fans of the Crimson Tide are fired up tonight as the 6-time NCAA champions make their home opener hosting the LSU Tigers. The gymnasts are enthusiastic about this new season, and Coach Sarah Patterson has her team ready to go.
What I want you to do is just go out there and show off what Alabama gymnastics is and enjoy it, because you have worked hard. I mean, I don't think that there's a doubt that we are much better this week than we were last week. Everybody agree? Look at those head shakes. So you just got to go out there and do it and enjoy it. I mean, just focus on yourself. There will be time for all of the other. Take in the moment, because you guys, this is an awesome weekend. You know, we're wearing the jersey for the national championship. It's going to be fun. And I think by the end, we're going to be so proud of what we did. All right, let's do it. Let's go. That was awesome.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. As always, we're expecting a huge crowd here tonight in Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as the Crimson Tide welcome rival LSU. Hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor, and I'm always proud to be joined by my fellow Olympian Kathy Johnson-Clark. And in the last year and a half, Kathy, Alabama has won 6 national championships, 2 in football, 2 in gymnastics, women's golf, and softball. So if you're a fan of Alabama sports, it's a good time. Are you kidding me? It's a fantastic time to be an Alabama coach or athlete. But if you remember this time last year, we had a hard time getting Sarah to talk about the significance of back-to-back title. Now she is riding that winning wave much more comfortably. But what Sarah does better than anyone, she is the perfect puzzle piece placer, looking for that right piece to put in the right place at the exact right time. Her athlete management and her risk management, knowing when to put in a higher level of difficulty in the routines, she is honed to perfection. It's really a key to their success. Perfect puzzle piece placer. That's impressive. You try to say that. I love that. Well, there's a lot of enthusiasm at LSU as well. Dee Bro just notched her 600th victory. Most of their team is back from last year, and last week they knocked off the powerhouse team from Florida. I tell you what, of all the teams that we're covering this season, I am most intrigued by LSU, particularly because of a major philosophy just change that she made early in their workouts to say, I want more repetition, I want more competition in practice. You have to prove yourself to be in the lineup. It's not good enough to have the best stuff in your routine. You got to make this lineup, and it has changed their level of consistency. Now, there's rarely a coaching carousel in gymnastics, but it happened this past year. After 20 years at the University of Georgia, Jay Clark and Georgia parted ways. So Dee Bro picked up Jay Clark and made him the associate head coach, and we talked to Dee about what that brings to their program this year.
With Jay coming in to our program, tried to evaluate everything that we were doing as a team, as a coaching staff, and as a program, and make some changes. You know, change our opening, change our philosophy, change our approach to practice. And Jay brought a different level of intensity. And you know, you can be intense without being tense, and I think that's what he has brought to us. You know, Dee Bro is a smart lady, but this is one of the smartest moves she ever made, bringing Jay Clark into the picture and really respecting him and letting him have at it. The uneven bars has typically been LSU's weakest event. They've been very timid in competition, a little chaotic, really, and he has already made a difference there and will continue to make a difference, maybe even take them to that next top tier. All right, we'll take a look at how they do tonight in their first away meet of the season. This is dual meet competition, which means there's 4 rotations: the vault, bars, beam, and floor. 6 athletes from each team will compete on each event, with just the top 5 scores for each event counting towards their team total. First gymnast up for Alabama will be Kim Jacob, the only gymnast on their team slated to compete in the all-around tonight. She's a 4-time All-American, Kathy. And has been such an important role player for this team. This event, vault, is a great event for them, and potentially a super event. They have the potential to throw 3 1.5 twisting vaults. They're not going to do all of them this evening. They're going to hold that off till later in the season. This should be a Yurchenko full twist.
Watch for height, distance. Not a huge vault in terms of amplitude. Pretty decent form, but I definitely saw a couple breaks, but a strong opening vault for Alabama. Notice how she gets in kind of a piked position throughout that vault. You really want to maintain a perfectly straight laid out position. You like a little more height off the table.
Remember, we'll be going back to back, so LSU now on the uneven bars. First up for LSU is Jessie Jordan.
Now, I've watched their first two competitions. Each one has gotten better in terms of their nerves, their aggressiveness on the bars during competition. She's really going for these handstands pretty well. That's where Jay Clark thought they might hold back a little bit in this first away meet. But so far, a very solid routine. Slight bent knees on the double layout, but I think they're happy with that.
She's one of their top returning all-arounders, the sophomore out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I spoke to Jay, and he's made changes even in terms of the way they set their bars so that they can have a little less chaotic approach in the warm-ups.
Kim Jacob, by the way, on vault for Alabama, a 9.825, ties her career best, so a great start for their first home meet. Kaitlyn Clark will be the next vaulter for the Crimson Tide. Rancho Cucamonga is her home. Normally very strong on vault and on even bars, where she really contributes a lot to this team.
I think that's the important thing to note is the way that these role players really determine the outcome of competition for Alabama. Yes, they rely on their stars and their big scores at the end of the lineup, but these are equally, if not more important. Very nicely done. A little bit higher than the previous vault. Better landing. Let's watch her position in the air. She gets a good stretched position. She pikes down ever so slightly, but boy, nails the landing.
And great technique, as you mentioned, getting off the vaulting table. That should be a great score. The score back over on the bars for the first performer, Jessie Jordan, a 9.75. Now here's a young lady that they are very high on, Jessica Savona, just a freshman at LSU, 6-time Canadian national team member, and the first alternate on the Canadian Olympic team to London this past summer.
She's got a huge bag of tricks. They love that. She brings up the level of difficulty. She has good competitive experience. Very nice skill there. Just a slight separation of the legs, but a move you won't see often in gymnastics, especially in collegiate gymnastics, so it's nice to see that variety in the level of difficulty. Really trying to stay in that handstand, and that full pirouette was slightly over, but a lot of difficulty in this routine. Needs a stuck landing here for a big score. Well done. Had to step back a little quickly, but I know they're happy. Really nice combination here. Good difficulty, nice variety. Many of the gymnasts are performing this double layout. Some you see sky, some get it around and stay straight. That's all important.
Ashley Sledge will go now. Kaitlyn Clark had a 9.9. That ties her career best.
Ashley is always an exciting gymnast on this event. Very, very good landing. She maintains good form throughout. She has decent height, decent distance, a good balanced vault. Among those three things the judges are looking for: height, distance, little hop there. You could tell by her face it wasn't quite perfect, but a very good vault.
Sledge is a senior, 2-time All-American. We'll talk about the two Ashleys who are sort of the anchors for this team, Ashley Sledge and, of course, Ashley Priess. Back over now to LSU, getting ready for the bars. This is Lloimincia Hall. They call her Mincy. She's a sophomore out of Dallas, Texas, and she's just fun to watch no matter. She's a very emotional performer.
Absolutely. She shows everything on her face. She's very expressive. Wait till you see her on the floor exercise. But I see stress sometimes on her face and in her, particularly on the uneven bars and on balance beam. But she works so hard to manage that stress, bottle it, use it. They kind of tease her a little bit about her death grip on the uneven bar. She holds on tight.
The two scores for the first two gymnasts from LSU were both 9.75, so they're pacing behind Alabama right now on this critical first event for LSU.
Now in the 30-second warm-up, she really went after these handstands. That one was better. The first two were a little bit short. She wasn't quite as aggressive, but she's going for a hit routine. So far, so good. Nice double land. Ooh, bobbled the landing a little bit. I think that mat popping up affected the landing and she took a step.
All right, we are halfway through the first of 4 rotations. We'll come back with more of LSU on the bars and Alabama on the vault. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa. Kayla Williams will be the next vaulter for Alabama, the former world champion on this event in 2009.
And talk about technique, Bart. She just has superb technique. And it's nice to see it finished off with a great landing. Do you see how close her legs were together? They never separate. I don't think her toes come unpointed. Beautiful tight body, opens up at the end.
Look at that face. She knows it was good. And it's a great combination to have not only the power, but the perfect technique.
Absolutely.
Ashley Sledge had a 9.85 for Alabama over there. So Alabama doing exceptionally well in their first rotation on the vault in this home opener. LSU has 2.975. We wait for the score for Lloimincia Hall on bars. You mentioned at the top of the show, LSU needs to get out strong on uneven bars if they're going to make this close tonight.
I think they're doing a great job. They're not going to beat a top team with their level of difficulty.
Right.
What they've tried to do is prepare at the beginning of the season, before it started, to be consistent, hit their routines, be calm in the competition, and really go after these handstands. Jay said they're not there yet on the uneven bars. It's still a working process, but I see a lot of progress. Whoa, no.
Oh,
and
no.
This is what they've talked about with this gymnast. She's extremely talented. But in workouts, early on, she was much more consistent. They wanted her in the lineup. They've kind of held her back a little bit in the lineup because she's not hitting routines the way they want to see in the gym. At least this mistake right here was an over mistake. She was not holding back, but you've got to learn to handle the nerves, to balance the pressure that you inevitably will feel, especially as a freshman. But she's so talented. They're hanging with her and really trying to get her to that level of consistency that they want to see.
The former junior national champion out of Las Vegas.
A lot of potential here. Nice double layout, little loose in the legs and feet, and it's kind of back to the drawing board when they get back to the gym, but they will figure it out.
LSU ranked 24th in the nation on bars. Otherwise, they're in the top 6 on all the other events. Weirick off to a rough start. You know, this is for only 4 gymnasts at LSU have ever competed in Coleman Coliseum. It's pretty intimidating to come into this house for sure. Back over to the vault, 9.925. Career high for Williams as we get ready to see Marissa Gutierrez.
Oh, look at the distance on that vault. That was really nice distance away from the table. Could have used a little bit more height to give it the balance, but I know the judges will love that she flew, took it back. She was a little on the front end of the table, and the distance and not balancing it quite with the height really made her take a step.
She took off in Tuscaloosa, landed in Birmingham. That was impressive. Marissa Gutierrez. She was noted as the most improved gymnast in 2012 for the Crimson Tide. She is the athlete who's really key to their success because it's those athletes who can consistently score 9.85 and above that really rock your team score.
Bread and butter.
Gutierrez score in 9.85 is her season high, so Alabama doing great. Rheagan Courville will be the next performer, and she's really one of the elite all-around gymnasts in the United States. 9.275 was the score for Weirick.
I so enjoy watching her work. Good variety of skills, nice amplitude, typically good form. It's not perfect form. I see a little looseness in the legs and toes. Oh, wow. You know what's unfortunate? She usually does that skill so well. I love the amplitude and the distance she has away from the high bar to get good swing. Unfortunately, it was too much distance this time, and she was just not close enough to the high bar. Unfortunately, they are now going to count a fall in their score, and that's too bad because they have definitely improved on this event, and you wouldn't expect it from this gymnast.
Right. She is 7th last year in the NCAA in the all-around. Tied for 3rd in the all-around rank this year. There you go.
Oh, but do you see how close she was? She's like, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake again, but overcompensated. Very nice dismount, a full twisting double back. Oh, that's a shame. She is not pleased at all.
Diandra Milliner, the anchor vaulter, and boy, can she fly. The junior out of Wichita, Kansas.
Boy, can she fly, can she twist? Watch this 1.5 twist.
Whoa!
And drops it in as if she could do that all day long.
The
Wow.
three-time All-American, currently ranked 4th in the country in the vault.
This is a beauty. Good height, good distance, a little knee bend. That's being picky, but the judges will probably see it. She's a little twisted on the table, but you look at the level of difficulty of that vault.
Fabulous. 9.925 was her score in the opening meet against Missouri. 9.9 is her score tonight. Wait, correction. 9.925 ties her season best for Diandra Milliner. And boy, Alabama just came out strong on the vault. A lot of pressure here on the final performer now for LSU on the bars. That's Sarah Morrison. Rheagan Courville took an unfortunate 9.1. So at this point, they will be counting Randy Wyrick's 9.275 into their score, assuming Sarah Morrison does better.
Oh, she is an excellent bar performer. And Jay said he loves working with this athlete. She is so on board with his philosophy, with the intensity, with really, really helping others too, not just herself. And you need this kind of leadership. She provides it consistently and comes up with a big routine when they need it.
Wow, and a 5'9" gymnast. You don't see many of them. She's the two-time All-American on bars. Has had no less than 5 surgeries in her life on her ankles. She's a tough athlete. That will wrap up the competition in the first of 4 rotations. We'll come back with the scores and the standings right after this. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Let's take a look at the standings after the first of 4 rotations. Alabama was on the vault. You can see their scores there. Diandra Milliner had a 9.925 in their final performance. 49.45 is the score, which means it's the 70th consecutive time Alabama has been over 49 in the vault, going all the way back to 2008. On the bars for LSU, not what they had hoped for in their opening round. Sarah Morrison's 9.925 was strong to finish it off, but a 48.4 for LSU on the bar. So here are the team standings. Alabama holds a lead of 1.05 over LSU after the first of 4 rotations. Kayleigh Dickson, the junior out of Florida, first vaulter for LSU.
Big start for LSU. You can see assistant coach really excited about the landing of that vault.
Quickly to the bars, Ashley Sledge, who is always a key role performer here for Alabama on the bars.
Bart, I love this lineup. I like her as the opening routine for Alabama on bars. She's so dynamic.
Two-time All-American. In fact, last year she was the NCAA regional champion on this event.
So many people have said, put her back further in the lineup. I think this is just an excellent choice. Look at that double layout. That's probably the best double layout in collegiate gymnastics.
It is. She comes like, drops off the ceiling. It's spectacular, isn't it?
It's amazing. Absolutely gorgeous position in the air. The technique is superb. And boy, when you have all that time, of course you're going to stick the landing.
Lloimincia Hall now for LSU on the vault. The score for Kayleigh Dickson, a big 9.875 to start it off for them.
Mincy does a different...
Oh, no.
That's too bad. She's been hitting that in every meet and in the warm-ups. Unfortunately, maybe she was going for the stick. I don't know. Sometimes when you're trying too hard to stick, you come up short. No, there was just not enough rotation off the table. You got to really block, initiate the rotation. Oh, too bad.
That's unfortunate. She's had a rough couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, she lost her grandfather, who she was very close to, and traveled back to Gary, Indiana for the family funeral, and so she's been through a lot lately. We hope she does better as the day goes on. We look forward to seeing her, particularly in the floor.
She had a tremendous competition at Florida, really using her grandfather as inspiration and did it for him. But now I think you're seeing the release of all of that pent-up emotion.
Ashley Sledge's score a 9-9. That's talking about a leadoff performer. That's what you need. Becca Alexin now will be next up to go. She's the senior.
She's always lovely on this event. Nice long lines. Always a pleasure to watch. Nice to see her get the opportunity to be in this lineup. Alabama's a tough lineup to get into. You got so many good gymnasts. It's a full pirouette right into a tuck double back dismount. The dismount is not extremely difficult. She gets a little bit more credit because she does it immediately following that pirouette. So it upgrades it a bit, but it's not a high level of difficulty. She counts on good form and losing no tenths of a point on deductions.
She was coached by her parents, Donna and Jean Alexin. All right, back to the vault. Jessica Savona, we saw her on the bars. Lloimincia Hall has an unfortunate 9.35 because of that fall, so added pressure here on LSU now.
And this is something they have to work through. Every team is going to have a competition where you've got to miss. It cannot be the end of the world. And look what she does. She comes back strong, picks it right back up. It's one of the better vaults today. Look at her body position. Pretty good layout and a great landing. They have really worked hard on the landings. They want to get those down pat before they upgrade the level of difficulty.
Kim Jacob saw that she had a 9.825 on vault, tied her career high. She'll be up on the bars next. She's currently ranked 5th in the nation, tied with her teammate Sarah DeMeo on this event. She's not only a great athlete, but the 2012 SEC Gymnastics Scholar Athlete of the Year, carries a 4.0 grade point average. It's not uncommon that these elite athletes also carry terrific scores in school, too.
Absolutely. They're not only bright, but their time management is so honed that they really use it wisely. They're excellent students. A little bit short on these handstands. Early in the season, you kind of see that. They're a little bit tight. Excellent form throughout, though. Nice high double layer. Wow. That's one of the best landings we've seen. Talk about no movement.
Wow. Sarah Patterson says she's really a diamond in the rough for us. She said she's really one of the most unselfish young ladies on our team.
An important leader to this team.
All right, we'll come back with the score for that great routine from Kim Jacob. Don't go away. More action in the second rotation. We're back. LSU now. Malia Mathis on the vault.
They are really coming out with some strong vaults. They've got a lot of ground to make up. They know that, but what's most important is they're getting the experience for the entire season. They're seeing how this philosophy is going to work for them. They prepared so hard in training prior to the start of season.
Jessica Savona had a 9.875. So the scores for LSU on vault, 2 9.875s and the 9.35. Let's keep you up to date here, because remember, 6 athletes on each team. The top 5 scores go towards their team total. LSU doing very well there. Malia Mathis a 9.85. Back to the bars then. Ashley Sledge opened up with a 9.9. Becca Alexin a 9.85. And we wait on the score now for Kim Jacob, which comes in as a 9.775. Those handstands must have cost her.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn Clark.
Early in the season, you'll see a little bit of tightness, getting used to the adrenaline of competition. Nice height on that release move. Little loose in the legs and the toes. Hard to ignore that if you're a judge with a pencil in your hand.
We talk about how hard it is to make the lineup at Alabama. Kaitlyn Clark competed in all 14 meets last year on bars.
Solid routine. I definitely saw some deductions in there, but those are things you can clean up as the season progresses. You really want to get tighter legs, obviously going for those handstand positions, but getting toes pointed, legs straight. Dismounts are strong.
This is early in the season, so you typically don't see the stuck landings like you see as we get around to championship time, right?
No, they haven't really gone into those details yet.
Sarah Morrison now.
Oh, that's nice. Very nice. A little off center. I like the balance of the vault, though. It's such great distance and height off the table. It's very explosive. I even saw it higher in the warm-ups. That's not as high as I've seen her. But notice how she drifts off slightly off center. That'll be a little deduction as well.
Boy, she is polished, though. I mean, legs tight together, form clean through the air. She had a 9.925 on bars in the first rotation. Probably a good score coming up for her there as well. Ashley Priess, what a story.
It's a great story.
You see the 8-time All-American. It's just unbelievable what she's meant to this team. And, of course, she's a red shirt senior this year. She'll finish up in May her graduate degree, which is in sports management. Her undergraduate degree she completed a couple of years ago in Spanish.
I mean, it's nice to see an athlete so enriched by their involvement in a sport. And she's really, I mean, she competed at the elite level. She gets a 5th year. I mean, it's really quite amazing. Has endured 2 ankle surgeries, sitting on the sidelines, watching your team win a national championship.
And oh, by the way, a 4.0 grade point average on the side. Incredible.
Nice handstands. Well done. Beautiful form on those release moves. And back-to-back. Notice the release move on the high bar, right to the pack salto, down to the low. This is the best bar routine we've seen thus far.
Kaitlyn Clark, by the way, 9.775 before this performance. Oh, nice.
Excellent, excellent. Little bit of pike on that double layout dismount. Gave her a little bounce on the landing, but boy, that was a nice routine, especially for this early in the season. Excellent handstands. Watch this combination, the reverse hack right into the pack salto. Well done.
Another gymnast with exceptional polish.
Yes. Good technique. And notice she piked just a little bit. She had to get it all the way around, and it caused a little hop.
Rheagan Courville next, the final vaulter for LSU. Sarah Morrison had a 9.85.
Boy, that had some pop off the table. A little bit of form on the round-off. I don't even know what the judges, if they'll even take those deductions. I've noticed it before, but what I really like is you can see the lift on the after flight of the vault.
Coach Dee Bro told us they're a little bit concerned about her in meets sometimes. Sometimes she tries to do differently in meets than she does in practice, and that sometimes leads to problems.
We heard Sarah in her pep talk, and it's don't try to be bigger or better than you are in practice. It is a mistake to try to do that. It's hard not to.
As only Dee Bro can say, she says sometimes she gets all wound up like a cheap clock. She's one of the most quotable people in gymnastics,
yes,
Dee Bro. Love her. Okay, Ashley Priess got a 9.9 for that exceptional routine on the bars. The final performer for Alabama on the bars will be Sarah DeMeo.
Sarah has been such an important part of Alabama gymnastics, always there, doing her part, everything that's required of her. Very solid routine. Excellent form. Good handstands. This should score well. Nice position. Wow! Big dismount. That's a first for her in competition. Double layout with a full twist, and very, very well done. That's exciting.
No, last year she was very inconsistent on the bars early in the season, got a 9.9 in the first meet this year. And what about this?
Oh, and that dismount just makes it. That is as difficult a dismount done in collegiate gymnastics, and she did it extremely well.
All right, we'll come back with the score for Sarah DeMeo. Alabama strong on the bars. LSU quite good on the vault as well. Don't go away. Dee Bro likes what she's seeing. And welcome back. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Let's update the scores after the second of 4 rotations. LSU was on the vault. The low score of Lloimincia Hall, the 9.35, will be dropped. Rheagan Courville finished off with a big 9.9, 49.35. They actually picked up 25 thousandths of a point in the second rotation on Alabama, who was at the bars. Sarah DeMeo ties a career-high 9.9 on the bars to finish it off with a 49.325. So here are the team standings. Alabama leads LSU at the halfway point by just over 1 full point. Alabama won the 2012 NCAA championship in dramatic fashion, and it all came down to Ashley Priess, needing one of the best routines of her life. She nailed a 9.95 to secure the win. In the end, the top 3 teams were separated by just 1/10 of a point, the closest 3-team finish in history. We talked with her about what it took to deliver that dream finish.
I just felt all the confidence in the world, just totally unshakable, had the team behind me, and you know, I was fortunate to be that last routine, and it was an incredible opportunity, but at the same time, it was obvious that it wasn't an individual effort, it was a team effort, and you know, it wouldn't have mattered if just I hit my routine, but we needed, you know, all 6 girls, you know, we needed 5 scores that were outstanding, and that's what we were able to do.
Ashley also shared with us she didn't always do well under pressure. She didn't enjoy it, and she didn't thrive under it. She worked with coaches. She learned how to embrace it, relax, worked on her breathing, and really enjoy it. And boy, did it show in that final routine. Unbelievable.
Leadoff performer, a critical role in all of women's gymnastics goes to Marissa Gutierrez for Alabama on the beam. Stable on this event typically. That's the kind of person you want in the leadoff role.
They are so stable on this event. A lot of that is part Dana Duckworth does an excellent job with these athletes on beam. She and Sarah work together with the choreography and designing these routines. And most important, routines that these athletes can hit under pressure, stay relaxed, still show strong level of difficulty and variety in their skills. And even some expressive, oh no, little bobble.
Gutierrez is one of the 4 seniors on this team. It's a 17-person roster. It's the largest team in Alabama history.
And another one of the really important team members. Competes so many events for them. She's a tiny bit off on the landings here. You're gonna have some nerves, as Sarah said in her talk to the kids, that they're going to feel nerves. They're going to have jitters. It's the first meet in front of this big Alabama crowd.
This is the first time they're competing without superstar Geraldine Stack-Eaton. She graduated, of course, last year. Alabama returning 20 of 24 performances, but those 4 were from Stack-Eaton, who always was a calming force.
Very well done. I like the way she brought everything back in and got control. Had a couple of those tiny little bobbles, but did not let it throw her. Really strong towards the end of the routine. Good one to have under her belt, not just as the leadoff, but for her personally going into the season.
Back over to the floor for LSU. Jessie Jordan was injured prior to last year's NCAA meet, so she was only able to compete there on the balance beam. LSU finished 9th last year at the NCAA championships.
I watched LSU's last competition. I'm impressed with the choreography on the floor exercise. Ashley Clark does the choreography, and she has really matured in her choreography. I'm seeing a very different personality in each routine. That's nice to see, especially when it's done by the same choreographer.
Claire Kearney, of course, the 2-time NCAA champion, both vault and floor for LSU.
Jessie is one of the cleaner performers in the competition. Pays attention to detail. You don't see the stumbling of the feet. Good toe point, nice stretched legs and posture. And each week, her tumbling has gotten better, landings have gotten better.
Nice job for the sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Typically an excellent anchor on the balance beam as well. I know you like her performances there.
Oh, she's very clean on the balance beam. I see it as well on the floor exercise. She could be a little bit higher on these tumbling passes. I think they'll gain in amplitude as the season progresses. They get in better and better shape.
Kayla Williams will be up on beam now for Alabama.
Kayla is just tough on this event, and she's pretty. She's got excellent form, doesn't give away a lot in deductions, and just tough. Watch her attack the landings on all of these elements.
First meet of the year against Missouri, she only did balance beam. She scored a 9.775 there. Tonight we saw her with a spectacular vault in the first rotation.
You can tell she's finally settling into collegiate gymnastics. It's very different when you come from the elite world to make the adjustment into collegiate gymnastics, and she's starting to look much better on all of the events. She performed exhibition on the uneven bars, and it was a sensational routine. Her balance beam has always been strong, and of course her vault is out of this world. Oh, I like it. She's very, very elegant. Nice. Oh, just a little step. She had to cross over. It's a 1.5 twist, blind landing here. She does a nice job spotting the mat. Just had to take that one little step.
Back to floor for LSU. The score for Jessie Jordan, a 9.775. So the two scores for LSU so far, 9.75 and 9.775, brings up Jessica Savona.
I like that Dee Dee said she has about 12 passes she can choose from on floor. What talent, a lot of power. And the amazing thing is she has come back from 2 ACL.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
Her 9.925 in the opening meet on floor against North Carolina State was the highest event score ever by an LSU freshman in her first meet in school history. So things could be looking good for LSU, and Savona hits her stride.
Very strong tumbling throughout the routine. Good difficulty from start to finish. That is certainly the highlight of this routine.
And it's on this event where LSU is ranked the best of its 4 events. Vault, they're 3rd in the country. Bars, 24th. Beam, 6th. But floor, they're ranked 2nd in the country based on average scores after the first 2 meets.
Now, I said earlier that this team isn't going to be a top team because of their level of difficulty. However, this gymnast has a ton of difficulty on every event.
We're back. Sarah DeMeo now for Alabama on the balance beam. Kayla Williams before her had a 9.775. For the 3 scores for Alabama on the beam, 9.75 for Milliner, Kayla Williams 9.775, and Marissa Gutierrez 9.8.
Tiny balance break there. Each gymnast has had just a little bit balance trouble, but handled it, didn't let it get worse. They really have so much experience with pressure, enormous pressure at NCAAs. And they also have the benefit of having such an amazing home audience to perform to.
Sarah Patterson said they really have 7 great balance beam routines on their team, so they really have the depth that they'll need to get through this long season.
And they'll only get better on this event. I see nothing in here that is going to be a weakness. They have strong routines.
The only routine they lost from last year's championship team, of course, was Geraldine Stack-Eaton.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
That is definitely a big beam routine to lose. But look at that, pike double dismount. That's an excellent balance beam routine and finishes extremely strong. Most gymnasts opt not to do a really difficult balance beam dismount. They usually do the side dismount, the gainer off the side, but she chooses difficulty here and does it so well.
Superb. Sarah Patterson happy with that performance. 4 strong beam routines already chalked up for Alabama. Malia Mathis now saw that she got a 9.85 on the vault. Jessica Savona had a 9.85. So the 3 scores for LSU on floor: 9.85, 9.775, and a 9.75.
Keep in mind, this is LSU's first away meet. It's definitely a change when you're competing in front of your home audience. Oh gosh, I was afraid she was going to come up even shorter. She pulled it around. Excellent difficulty thus far in this routine. Strong 2 opening passes. Very clean on those jumps.
Coaching staff said she's been really one of the key reasons why LSU is off to one of its best starts in school history. Very solid.
Ends with the double pike. A little bit low. They're going to take off because her chest was low on the landing, but excellent difficulty and choreography throughout the whole routine. Just a little bit sluggish on the tumbling. She just did not have the lift or the pop off the floor. I was afraid she wasn't going to make it, but she pulled it around. And here her chest is a little low on the landing. Judges are really looking for a more upright position on that landing, and that is, they are being sticklers on that.
Ashley Priess, we saw her 9.9 on the bar. She's the former SEC all-around and balance beam champion back in 2010.
She is a true balance beam worker. I mean, she's a beamer. Not everybody is. They can do balance beam, but there are some that just are so comfortable and so natural on this event.
Talking to the coaching staff before the meet, they have a new team motto this year called SWAT, S-W-A-T. Stands for Stronger We Are Together. And they have a few key words that they focus on throughout the season. They're talking about improvise, adapt, and overcome.
That's how you win national titles, because nothing is ever perfect. And you have to be able to work around anything that happens. And boy, is she just, I mean, her competition level, even from when she was elite, has just gone through the roof. She can handle pressure with such poise and really strives for perfection. I love the position in the air. And look, her feet almost missed the balance beam, but she did not let it get to her. She hung with it.
And like Sarah Patterson said at the top of the show, she said it's not going to be perfect. So let's get ready to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Rheagan Courville now. This could be a highlight for LSU on the floor. She is just simply stunning here.
I love how high she gets up, especially on this first pass. Really has good technique.
First LSU freshman ever to achieve first-team All-American status in the all-around.
Watch this Arabian double front.
Nice.
Wow, that is a gorgeous landing. She needed that. She was not happy with uneven bars. It was really uncharacteristic of her to have that miss. So I think there's a little extra energy here.
Interesting note about her, she from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, coached by former LSU star Susan Jackson, who gave us many highlights.
Oh, yes. Gotta watch her those feet on those leaps. When she gets to the top of the jump and full split, toes come unpointed just a little. These are picky things, but those are the kind of things you'll want to improve as the season progresses. Looks like her legs gave out just a little bit. Keep in mind, we are still early in the season. That's a lot of difficulty in one routine. Finishing with a pike double back takes a lot of endurance. Very, very nice height. The landing was excellent. She's just a tiny, tiny bit sloppy. You'll see like her legs not quite straight, not completely pointed. Those are things I think she can fix.
Kim Jacob now, the final performer for Alabama on the beam. 9.85 was the score for Ashley Priess, which is a season high for her on beam this year.
It's really nice about the nature of collegiate gymnastics when you graduate some of your stars and leaders, that others take their place and become the leaders and become the anchors on events. It's really nice to see. It's well deserved for this gymnast. She has been an incredible lead-off performer for them.
And now she's their anchor on beam.
It's got to be a good feeling. She handles it beautifully.
Sarah said she's the kind of gymnast that every coach wants. She works hard. She can do anything. She's unselfish. She's just the perfect kind of team player.
And every single one of her teammates voted for her in the leadership position, which Sarah said that's unusual that you have across the board a vote from every single teammate. That says something. Excellent routine. Wow. Very nicely done. This is definitely a beam team. It's nice to be able to see, look at that. Very, very nice pass. Good difficulty. Finishes strong with a 1.5 twist. But this is a beam team. You can see how they can improve, too. They can get better.
And the final performer on the floor for LSU, always a highlight, Lloimincia Hall. Rheagan Courville, by the way, had a 9.85. Sit back and love it.
Put on your seatbelts and enjoy the very, very expressive routine. You can hear the audience react to every move.
You know they love it in Baton Rouge, but I'm glad to see that they love it here in Tuscaloosa as well.
I think that was a throw of the dice. Oh, did I mention she can tumble too? Great amplitude.
She is firing up this crowd. She scored a 9.95 against Florida last week. Oh, stuck it.
It's as if she says, I'm going to have some fun. Come on and join me.
I love it. They love her here. How nice is that? You know, she comes from a very religious family. And so this whole gospel influence, that is the root of a lot of her presentation and her performance. And I just love it. I think it's fabulous.
It's times like this where you almost forget that it's judged, that the judges still have to look for toe point, posture, leg positions, and you kind of just want to throw away the books and say, just enjoy.
Don't you love it? Way to go for Lloimincia Hall. We'll come back with their score and the standings after the third rotation right after this.
And welcome back to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Here are the scores in the third rotation. Alabama was on the beam, LSU on the floor. Here are the scores for Alabama on the beam. The low score for Diandra Milliner dropped to 9.75. Kim Jacob finished off the rotation with a 9.875. So once again, Alabama over 49 on that event. For floor exercise for LSU, the low score a 9.725. Maria Mathis dropped. Lloimincia Hall got a 9.9 for that captivating performance. 49.125 there. So here are the team standings after 3 of 4 rotations. By just less than a point, Alabama still has the lead over LSU. Sarah Patterson is in her 35th year at Alabama. Look at that remarkable resume with 6 NCAA championships. You know, she's going to soon be honored with the Sarah Patterson Champions Plaza. When she was hired out of Slippery Rock College by the legendary Bear Bryant, little did she know that she and her husband David, if they did not do well in the program that first year, the program might have been headed for the chopping block. We talked with her about that.
I took the job under Coach Bryant. You know, I had huge dreams, but I didn't even know that they were going to drop the program at the end of the year. And then that team had the first non-losing season in the 5-year history of the program, and we've just grown from leaps and bounds. But I do have to say, you go all the way from Coach Bryant to Coach Saban and the coaches in between. The football program has enabled us to compete at the highest level. We've been to 30 consecutive NCAA championships, but it's the support and the financial impact that our football team has on this university and on this community that allows us the charter flight travel, the facility renovations that we have to keep us at the top of the NCAA. And so while I'm a huge gymnastics fan and I love the sport of college gymnastics, I have to tell you that there is no bigger football fan than Sarah Patterson.
As she should be a huge football fan. Instead of dropping the program, Bear Bryant gave them 4 scholarships to work with, see what they could do. They promised that incoming class that before they graduated, they'd go to nationals. They did in their senior year and placed 4th, and the rest is history and still going.
We're ready now for the beginning of the 4th rotation. LSU will move to the perilous balance beam. Didi Bro has great confidence in Ericka Garcia out of Mexico to be a steady leadoff performer.
She's an excellent leadoff performer on this event. Now it'll be interesting, their first away meet in front of this audience. She has some very good difficulty in the routine.
Garcia is just one of 2 seniors on this team at LSU. The bulk of their team are juniors, 7 and 5 sophomores.
Setting up a flip-flop back pike. Watch, she'll land on 2 feet. Very solid. Nice movement out of the aerial walker. They're combining it into the jump. Judges are really looking for fluid connections. Gymnasts trying to earn bonus points in those connection values. Pretty good position in those leaps. Really looking for a full split in the air.
And she tore her ACL in 2011, which has really limited her to contributing on beam. But boy, she's good here.
If you're going to contribute anywhere, leadoff spot on balance beam. When you find a leadoff performer, it's golden.
Hang on to it. Good start for LSU on the beam. Remember, they're about a point behind Alabama. Alabama going to the floor where they are typically spectacular, although Sarah Patterson said they're not quite great there yet. They can do better as the season progresses. Sarah DeMeo will be the leadoff performer.
Competing for the first time in the floor lineup since her freshman year. And thus far, done so well in competition. Beautiful back height. since I'm such a stickler for form, I know that comes as a surprise. I really look for the feet and the leg extension and full split. She really brings that to this routine. Very clean, even on the tumbling. Nice position. Very clean, precise footwork. No extra little steps or stumbles. It's nice. Two and a half twists. Strong, well-balanced routine with the choreography, the tumbling. Nice. I like just how clean everything is. In the air, they're not huge tumbling passes in terms of height. We're gonna see athletes get off the floor higher, but she's so clean. 2.5 twists. I like the variety. She's happy. Good.
Back to the beam now for LSU. Ericka Garcia had a 9.8. This brings up Kayleigh Dickson.
And I like the way Didi describes her. She's her second first person on beam. So it's like having two leadoffs. Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh.
Remember, 6 athletes on a team. You count the best 5 scores, so that adds up the pressure on the rest of the lineup because hopefully there's no other falls.
It's all learning. No matter how many pressure sets you do in the gym, it's impossible to completely replicate what it's going to feel like out on the competitive floor, in front of the audience, on an away meet. And it's all experience. You will take this, you learn from it. It's hard, but they can learn from this experience and from their mistakes. One arm back handspring. Nice, a little bit sloppy in the air, but I think she was losing her center, and she knew it.
First performer over there, Ericka Garcia, by the way, tied a season high on balance beam. Back to the floor. DeMeo opened up with a 9.9. Brooke Parker, excited to see her. She'll be next. She is a sophomore out of Lorton, Virginia. Wow.
Beautiful Arabian double. Now the top teams in the country, this is what they're going to be doing. They're going to open with an E element in the floor exercise. They will finish with Ds. They will have a higher level of difficulty throughout. Oh no, missed the timing on that punch. It pulled it around, but it'll be a deduction.
She had her career best on floor 9.825 last week against Missouri. That 9.9 for DeMeo, by the way, is a career high.
You can definitely see her taking in some air for this last tumbling pass. Pike double back, pulls that around nicely. Opened and finished strong. Little trouble on that middle tumbling run.
You can see this could be a big scoring routine by the end of the season.
Yes, definitely a highlight of that routine. And unfortunately, after this 1.5 twist, she just missed the timing of the punch into the front layout. Had to bend her legs. Pike double back.
Let's join in progress now. Jessica Savona on the balance beam. Kayleigh Dickson had a 9.0. So the two scores on beam for LSU, 9.8 for Garcia, 9.0 for Dickson.
Good check there.
Savona had a 9.85 on floor after that fall on the uneven bars earlier.
Took a little too long between those two jumps, and the leg wasn't quite high enough in the back on the first one. Again, these are all the things they go back, they'll watch film, they can make these corrections for later in the season. And this is the best part of the routine. Finishes strong with a pike double back. Let's see if she can stick it.
Nice.
One step, good difficulty though. Just like the rest of her routine, she has a good level of difficulty throughout.
You can tell that she was an elite level gymnast because she has those level of expectations, pike doubles at the end.
Yeah, and she does it pretty easy.
Right.
Ashley Sledge.
Brooke Parker on the floor. After that slight bobble, gets a 9.725 for Alabama. Ashley Sledge coming up now.
You're gonna like how high she gets off the floor. It's nice. Don't through the tuck double back. Ashley graduated in December and is now working on a secondary degree as she finishes competing. Two front layouts. She closes with a pike double back. When she warmed this up, it was sky high. Let's see what it looks like at the end of the routine. It's up there. Very clean form. Well done. Shh, don't tell anybody my secret. Boy, can she get up there.
Nice job for Ashley Sledge, the senior. More of the final rotation when we come back to Tuscaloosa. Welcome back to Alabama. Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson-Clark calling the action. Rheagan Courville now on the beam for LSU. Lloimincia Hall had a 9.775.
Watch this. This is the best part of the routine. I love it. Standing Arabian.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And she landed standing straight up and down. That's hard
Just
to do.
deceivingly strong, you know? Some of the skills she does are surprising. It's almost like they come out of nowhere and you're like, wow, that's great. Keep in mind the judges are really looking for these connections to be tight from one skill to the next. In order to earn the bonus points, there should be no arm movement, no hesitation.
She has scored over 9.9 in all 4 events, so she's a very balanced gymnast.
Extremely balanced.
Currently 3rd in the United States in the all-around rankings at this point in the season.
Tiny stutter step. She really wants to connect those, go right from that front, right into the dismount. Well, I think what they'll say is it was a mixed bag, this competition. A lot of good things, some improvement, some areas where they really need to continue to improve, but they've got a lot to work with.
Kim Jacob now. Big full-in pike to open her floor routine for Alabama. The score for Gutierrez after that slip on the landing, only a 9.3. That's their lowest score there so far.
Nice. Good combination. So far, it's been a nice combination of excellent tumbling, good clean execution.
Beautiful.
Very well done.
Wow.
Tell you what, you give the judges no reason to deduct. She's very, very clean, very precise, got a high level of difficulty.
What a balanced all-around gymnast, much like Courville. Beautiful. Expect a good score there for Jacob. Back over to the beam. Jessie Jordan will be their final performer. I know you love this routine. Quickly, Rheagan Courville, 9.9 is a season high for her on beam.
What I love about it is the precision. Oh, no, 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 no. You see pictures. Yes, there was a balance break there. That will be a deduction, but you can see the pictures. Pretty flexibility, nice stretch, nice hands. Just attention to detail. I like her footwork. Got to hold onto the toe point a little bit on those leaps right at the top. Really hold on tight to it, because everything else is so nice. You don't want that to stand out like a sore thumb.
We're talking to Dee Dee Bro about how she coaches beam. She always tells the kids, just do what you do in practice.
Yep. Normal. Got to be like normal. You can't try to be bigger, better, stronger, faster. It's just compete the way you train, train the way you compete, and then slowly get better through the course of the season and peak at nationals.
And she mentioned, she said, we're not going to out-difficulty anybody, so we got to be clean and solid here and try to catch them on the other events.
Boy, she gave away very little in terms of deduction. Of course, that stuck landing was a gorgeous finish to a nice routine. 1.5 twist here, and she just drops it in. Beautiful. And does not move.
Back to the floor now for Alabama. Diandra Milliner will wrap it up. The score for Kim Jacob, a career high 9.9.
And she's got some tumbling chops just like her vaulting. She gets up in the air. Music is definitely building to something, some kind of finale here. Pike double back. Oh, no, it dropped to her knees. Just, they're running out of gas just a little bit at the end of the routine.
You know, Patterson told us the other day, she said, we took a little longer Christmas break than we typically do. And so she said, she's got to work them into the, you know, cardio conditioning to get through these full routines.
Absolutely, because you can tell the tumbling is there. They're very capable of this difficulty. But when you, at the end of the routine, you got to keep in mind these are almost 1.5 minutes long, and you're just going. So it takes a lot of endurance. It takes a little while to get in shape. You can tell she's slightly bending her legs, trying to pull it around, and then her legs just give out.
Yet they're going for high-level difficulty dismounts this early in the season. Good for them. Well, tonight, Alabama took a lead of a point in the first rotation and never relinquished it. A standout for the Crimson Tide was certainly junior Sarah DeMeo. With a big dismount on the uneven bars, she tied her career-high 9.9. Then with some powerful tumbling on the floor, she set a new career high of 9.9. Alabama wins its home opener in the 2013 season. Kaitlyn Johnson Clark is with the two Sarahs, Sarah Patterson and Sarah DeMeo.
Thanks, Bart. Well, Sarah, like you said in your pre-meet speech, we're not expecting perfection. You're going to have jitters. And then I called you the perfect puzzle piece placer. Where are the pieces of the puzzle at this point? Where do you feel you stand relative to the rest of the season?
You know, I think we did a great job tonight. There were a lot of breakthroughs. I thought we were better on bars. I thought we stuck some vaults. I think the crowd had so much energy, and I think where we lacked a little bit still is in our conditioning on floor exercise. And I think sometimes in this environment, the ladies get in there. What I'm always concerned about is they put a little bit too much energy in it this early in the season. I know we'll fix those problems. Those are two great competitors for us, and you know, that would have been an awesome team sport for us.
I have to agree with you. And Sarah, my goodness, what a great competition you had. What is it like being throughout your career, you've been a strong performer, a part of this team, but to step into these leadership roles and really take on so much more?
Gosh, it's so humbling because I started out as a freshman not knowing what the team aspect was all about, and I feel like I've learned so much from the elders on the team and from Sarah, and I feel like that everyone can count on me in those leadership positions, and I feel confident in myself, and I know my teammates are behind me.
Well, great job today and continued success. We'll see you later in the season.
Thank you very much.
So LSU gets its first loss of the season. They moved to 2-1. Alabama goes to 2-0. Thanks for watching, everybody. For Kaitlyn Johnson Clark, I'm Bart Connor. Once again, our final score, LSU 195-525, Alabama 196-575. This has been the SEC on ESPN.